Hey, everybody. Welcome to the 16th annual Scheinfeld New Venture Challenge. Woohoo! Let's hear it for it. Hey, it's so great to have you here. My name is Julie Sampson. I'm director of the Scheinfeld Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation here at Santa Barbara City College. But what's more important is who is in the room. So of course we have our esteemed judges who you're going to meet in just a bit. But we have 3 high schools represented here. So stand up if you're from San Marcos. Woohoo! San Marcos, yes! Nice. Welcome. So nice to have you here. And how about Providence? Providence, yes, welcome. So nice to have you here. And Cabrillo, congratulations, so nice to see you. Yeah, all right, so nice to have that representation from across Santa Barbara County. Now, let's get into the heart of the matter and why we're here. So today, you are going to experience something very real. You will see students from across Santa Barbara County step forward to present ventures that they have spent weeks and months developing, refining, and testing. These are real ideas requiring real preparation and real entrepreneurial growth happening in real time. The finalists here are chosen based on their business plan entries, and each will deliver an 8-minute pitch, followed by 2 minutes of clarifying questions from the judges. So that isn't a time for feedback, that's clarifying questions that they will ask you to better understand your venture and business model. All of you are in pursuit of cash awards and startup support. And for 16 years now, the Scheinfeld New Venture Challenge has existed in this way to help students develop the mindset, skills, confidence, and community needed to create financial and economic viability in a rapidly changing world. And today, that mission is more relevant than ever. We are living in a moment where technology, artificial intelligence, and entrepreneurship are reshaping industries, redefining work, and creating entirely new possibilities. But even in a world transformed by technology, the human side of entrepreneurship still matters deeply. The ability to identify meaningful problems and solutions, the ability to communicate ideas clearly, adapt under pressure, build trust, and create value for others. That's what today is about. This competition is not simply about who wins. It's about students learning how to think critically, present courageously, and step into leadership in new ways. One of the most meaningful aspects of entrepreneurship is community, and we are grateful for everyone who helps to make this competition possible, from our teachers right here. So raise your hand if you're a teacher. Hey, we recognize you and honor you. Yes, thank you so much. It's amazing work. We get to see it on this end, and there's so much that goes on your end. We recognize that. We also have our judges and mentors, alumni, other supporters, staff and community partners who continue to invest in the next generation of innovators and builders. So important. And speaking of support, one of the things we consistently hear from our student entrepreneurs is that having people show up here and show up in other places are what matters most. So thank you for being here. Your presence encourages these students more than you know, and I'd like to recognize our distinguished panel of judges who bring broad entrepreneurship expertise spanning executive leadership, finance, innovation, marketing, product development, emerging technologies. Their extended biographies have been on our website and in our marketing materials but now let me just briefly introduce them. So John Stump is an award-winning engineer, inventor, and product development leader with more than 25 years. Yes, I'm right there with you. With more than 25 years of experience bringing new technologies to market across industries, including medical devices, consumer electronics, and fitness equipment. With more than 50 patents and applications, John brings deep expertise in innovation, manufacturing, engineering, and turning ideas into real-world products. John, it's such a pleasure to have you here. Thank you. Next up, we have Kezi Cheng, who is the founder of Flow Materials, a company pioneering next-generation recyclable polymers designed to make product-to-product recycling commercially viable. A Forbes 30 Under 30 honoree, an MIT and Harvard-trained scientist, Kezi is passionate about advancing sustainable innovation, entrepreneurship, and opportunities for future leaders. We're in good hands with you, Kezi. Thank you for being here. And Mike WALD is founder of Coastal Intelligence, an AI consultancy focused on helping organizations build intelligent decision systems that improve impact and accountability. With more than 20 years of experience spanning AI, strategy, marketing, and system design, Mike brings a practical and human-centered perspective on innovation and emerging technologies. Mike, it's a pleasure to have you with us. Okay, now just a few quick notes on the competition format. Each finalist, as I mentioned, will deliver an 8-minute pitch, followed by up to 2 minutes of clarifying questions from the judges. As I mentioned, this is not a time for feedback or seeking feedback, and 2 minutes generally allows each judge to ask one question, and we trust the judges to manage that time equitably. Following the presentations, the judges will deliberate while we enjoy refreshments outside on the patio, and then we will reconvene here for the announcement of the awards and judges' feedback. To all of the finalists here today, congratulations on making it to this stage. We wish you tremendous success, and regardless of today's outcome, the work required to develop your ideas, to submit your business plan, and to stand on stage, it all takes initiative, discipline, resilience, and courage, and these qualities will continue to serve you well today with this competition and far beyond. And now, with that, let's begin. Please join me in welcoming our first finalist to the stage. We have Ethan O. Oxman, Reese Stewart, and Cade Campbell with Pilatus from San Marcos.
Good evening, everyone. We are Pilatus, and we are here to fix a massive problem in the construction world. The dangerous gap between a new worker showing up on a job site and that worker actually being safe to operate machinery. Before we show you how we're fixing this, let's introduce the team behind the platform. My name's Ethan Oxman, and I'm the CEO. I'm a current senior at San Marcos High School, and I've completed the entrepreneurship pathway. Next year, I'm headed to San Diego State University to study construction management.
My name is Cade Campbell. I'm a current junior at San Marcos High School, and I have completed the entrepreneurship pathway. I serve as a board member on the Village Properties Teachers Fund, where I help annually manage $150,000 in grants.
Hi, I'm Reese Stewart. I'm the CMO. I'm a current senior at San Marcos High School, completed the entrepreneurship pathway, and I plan to study business at the University of Utah.
So why Pilatus? It all started when we realized there was a massive hole in the current construction market. Right now, the industry is in a crisis. We are going to need more than 450,000 new workers by 2027 just to keep up with the demand. The problem is that experienced workers are retiring and the new ones aren't coming in with the right training. There's huge skill gaps that construction firms are desperate to fill. When workers aren't trained, sites become dangerous. Managers often don't know who is actually qualified to handle a machine, which leads to accidents and project delays. Most companies still use paper records to track their skills, which is a mess. It leaves them open to tens of millions of dollars in legal trouble and OSHA fines because they can't prove their workers were actually certified. We knew the industry needed a digital bridge between a training video and a safe job site. That's where Pilotus comes in. Our core product is a high-tech AI training platform. What you see here is a mock-up of our forklift certification, but the platform is built to handle much more. We use AI to create realistic, easy-to-follow training videos for any job, whether it's fall protection, heavy machinery, or basic site safety. We make sure workers actually understand the theory and the safety steps before they ever step foot on a machine. This all feeds into one simple dashboard where managers can check their phones and see a worker's digital badge in seconds. If the system shows they haven't finished the training, they don't get the job. It takes the guesswork out of site safety and replaces paper with a smart and reliable app.
This is a large market with strong growth potential. Our market is listed at $16 billion globally, with a national market of $7.5 billion, focused on mid-sized construction firms in the US, where training and compliance are major issues. We're starting with a $500 million market of regional contractors in California, then expanding larger national, then global as the platform grows. While talking to Troy Stewart, the owner of Channel City Lumber, who also happens to be my dad and has been around this business his whole life, he flat out told me there is zero training in this industry today. Because schools cut classes so new workers don't know the basics. But here's the issue. Troy said that if you sell the wrong product, it's not just a mistake, it can lead into catastrophic results. This is why we built Pilotus, to fix this. We are giving business owners like Troy the right tools they need for safe crews, happy customers, and getting the job done right. My family owns Channel City Lumber and Hardware, and this is our biggest advantage. We won't have to waste money on ads that contractors won't look at. We'll put flyers and QR codes right at the front counters, so all the contractors that come in every day, every morning, and buy the products, they will see this and they will want to join us. Our target customer is safety directors and general contractors. Their job is to keep workers safe, make sure certifications are up to date, and prevent costly mistakes on the job site. They need a simple system that shows clearly who is certified for each job. These safety directors usually work at mid-sized construction firms and coordinate with project managers to keep operations running smoothly and safely.
When we look at the current market, we see giants like Procore and Buildertrend. The problem is that these platforms are built for the office. They handle the heavy paperwork, but they completely ignore the field. They are also incredibly expensive and don't offer the training needed for mid-market contractors we are targeting. Pilotus is different because we are the only platform that integrates AI training videos directly into the workflow. We aren't just hosting compliance documents. We are hosting the actual skills that are needed to keep a job site running. We offer skill-based scheduling and compliance at a price point that actually makes sense for a growing business. Our financial roadmap is built on being lean and moving fast. Our service subscription runs a firm $199 per month. We've identified a clear path to profitability, starting with $60,000 in year one. As we establish our beachhead right here on the Central Coast, by year three, we expect to scale that to $1.2 million as we expand our regional footprint. Two things that make this growth possible. First, our technology is cloud-based, meaning we can support thousands of new users without needing a massive office or physical servers. Second, our connection with local stores means our marketing costs are near zero. We are building a high-growth company that keeps its overhead incredibly low. We are moving through a disciplined 4-phase plan to reach those targets. We are currently in phase 1, finalizing our product build and running compliance audits to ensure our videos meet every safety standard. In phase 2, we move into beta testing with our regional hardware partners to get Pilotus into the hands of real crews. Phase 3 is our official launch across the California Central Coast, which builds the momentum we need for phase 4, a national scaling and our Series A funding round. To ensure we hit the ground running, we plan to obtain $15,000 in startup funding from our friends and family. We have plans of where to allocate this capital. 50% is dedicated to platform development and video hosting. 30% is for our legal and compliance work, including OSHA audits and data protection. The final 20% goes towards the physical marketing materials like QR codes and flyers that we'll be placing in our local hardware stores. We have the plan, the connections, and the capital to launch Pilotus today.
So we invite you to join the Pilot's journey as we make job sites safer and build a better future for the construction industry. So are you ready to help the world build smart, train safe, and lead better?
Yes, you mentioned the cost for the service and monthly. Could you go over that in more detail? What a customer has to pay to get your service?
So we are targeting like firms and construction crews, and the crew pays $199 per month for the crew. And basically that's our only subscription right now. As we expand into our later stages, we may expand this and up the cost, but right now we would just be starting at $199 month subscription.
Thank you.
You mentioned a large market, a large TAM of $16 billion, I think. But what is the market for learning tools for construction training? What's that market?
That's you.
What's the actual market for these type of tools for the construction industry? Because you talked about like the whole market for the mid-size firms, but what
for smaller.
No, I mean specifically for training tools. Like what's the market for that?
There's not a specific market exactly for that, or
Okay.
price for that.
When looking at all the assumptions in your presentation and your plan, what has you the most worried?
What probably has us the most worried is making sure AI is actually building compliant videos and making sure we're compliant with OSHA safety standards as they have strict regulations.
Do you have a CTO on your team to build that?
It's a mix between the three of us. We're working on we've been experimenting with different platforms such as Claude.
Okay. One more question. Have you guys talked to any customers besides your dad?
That's our time. Thank you.
Nice flow. I think we all have good questions.
We've all been there. We have habits we want to keep to enhance our life, like eating healthier, getting adequate sleep, or just drinking enough water daily. But we just can't seem to be able to keep them over the long term. Habits like these are necessary for a life that functions like a well-oiled machine. I'm Joshua Small, a sophomore at Providence School, and I have created Qua, which solves this problem. It turns competitions with friends using social accountability, real rewards, and real consequences to drive lasting consistency with habits. The problem is that without social accountability, people are just relying on their willpower alone and the novelty factor to keep their habits. But with social accountability, they will fear letting people down and the social ejection factor that comes with breaking their habits. The competitive landscape are other apps that use social factors and gamification to help increase the amount of habits you keep over the long term. For example, MyFitnessPal is an app that tracks your calories, nutrition, and your workouts, but it mainly depends on your own discipline to keep your consistency. Qua goes further by making habits social. Users competing with friends and facing real consequences or rewards at the end of the competition. Strava is a very strong habit app, but it is only for fitness. You can join social competitions and compete against your friends for badges, but these rewards are only digital and it only deals with fitness. Waze also brings the social factor, but it is only for driving. And Duolingo is excellent at building long-term consistency through social streaks, rewards, and gamification, but it is also limited to just language and some other subjects of just learning. Qua is any habit with the social accountability factor. The marketing channels I will use to promote Qua will be word of mouth through students and social media ads. Our target customer are high school and college students in the US who want to increase the wellness of their life through better habits. The total addressable market globally for digital health and wellness is about 15 billion. In the US, for about 6 million high school and college students, and about 20% of those use digital tools for their habits, that's a serviceable addressable market of about 450 million. In the first 3 years, we aim to capture a small 500,000 portion of this serviceable addressable market. We will operate through a freemium app model where it is free to download and free to use, but it's only a basic tier that is free to use. It will be $5.99 for a month for the premium tier, and it will give you access to advanced and custom challenges for your friends and deeper analytics compared to the just basic participation challenges that are only presets for the basic tier along with basic data. According to this chart, we will break even in October. On the advisory board, we have Mr. Brian Anderson and Mr. Jamie DeFries, who lead the Entrepreneurship Academy here at Providence. We are asking for $15,000 in funding, which will come from mainly personal savings and grants from competitions, where $6,000 of that will be used for marketing, $7,200 will be used for the development of the digital products, $1,200 will be used to upkeep the server, and there will be a $1,500 buffer for unforeseen and emergency expenses. Thank you.
Could you just do an overview of what your plan is, and will that change over time, and what channels do you plan on going with there?
Could you elaborate a little bit more?
I was on your financial page, you showed $500 a month, so I was just wondering what, just if you had any more information on what your plan was to spend, because it was a pretty large part of your budget, so I was interested to hear more about that.
For advertising?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it will have like a pretty limited awareness of the app initially. but through some aggressive spending in advertisement through social media, it will hopefully have a pretty aggressive uptick in the amount of people who know about it in the first year. And then after that, the marketing spend will go down significantly as more people are talking about it to their friends, and the requirement for it to be advertised over social media will go down.
Thank you.
How long do you think it'll take to build a minimum viable product for this?
A prototype, a viable prototype in about 2 months, and then a full product in about 5.
What's going to prevent your app from becoming another app that someone might stop using after 2 weeks?
The social factor. Users will join cooperative competitions with their friends where the friend group decides a punishment and or a reward for the winning team. And through this, they will,
Finish your sentence.
I just lost my train of thought.
You were saying award. No, award.
Sorry?
Award or...
Oh yeah, through the awards, it will be a fun experience for their friends, and also they'll know that it's improving their health through this competition in their friend group, which is a fun competition every week, and keep them still using it.
Next up, we would like to welcome to the stage Jaden Wilson, Nevaeh Davis, Jacob Mantelo, and Jay Kroom of SoulScribe Tech from Cabrillo.
Hello there, and welcome to SoulScribe Tech. We aim to remove the communication barriers that separate our society. So to start off, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Jaden. I'll be the CEO, Jaden Wilson.
I'm Nevaeh Davis. I am the social media chief marketing executive, I guess.
My name is Jay Kroom, and I am the Chief Operation Officer.
My name is Jacob Mantelo, and I'll be the Chief Technology Officer.
And of course, we have our advisor, Ms. Honeycutt.
So what is SoulScribe? Let me start off with what inspired our invention. It's a bit personal for me. So I have a sister, and she is hard of hearing, which means I've had firsthand experience dealing with the frustrations that she's been through, whether that's asking people to repeat themselves over and over again and dealing with their frustration, or her missing out on things or not hearing things simply because she didn't hear it. Now, imagine those frustrations, but with over 50 million Americans. There are 50 million Americans that face hearing problems, which can make it hard for them to communicate. Current options such as lip reading, sign language, or translating apps can prove to be quite tedious and limit independence. Having a phone between you makes it hard for there to be a true connection, while existing captioning glasses fail to provide the level of accessibility that's needed to beat out the lesser options. Now, how are we going to face this problem? We're going to face this problem with 3 steps. For the first stage, we plan to create smart glasses that display speech-to-text captions directly on the lenses. This captioning will be done through ASR, known as automatic speech recognition, via the front-facing microphone. These glasses will contain 4 side-facing microphones powering a keyword recognition and directional alert system. This software would detect important words, such as the user's name, identify sound direction, and even display a visual indicator on the lens to restore spatial awareness?
For stage 2, we will establish both manufacturing and distribution. We will have 2 distribution channels, direct sales and e-commerce. For direct sales, it may be difficult for us to get into the actual stores of Pair Eyewear, but there is a large opportunity for us as there are no known captioning glasses currently available in any LensCrafters stores. Our management would be shared between LensCrafters and our team, and we would hire more workers to produce additional glasses. Marketing efforts would focus on displaying our glasses and creating advertisements.
For e-commerce, we create a working website to sell our glasses. A domain would only cost $10 to $20 per year, and we would primarily operate as a direct online retailer with nationwide reach. We should be able to easily manage a website and have a specific role within our team to keep our site updated. Staffing would support our management of the website and order fulfillment. And putting advertisements on YouTube and various other media sites will be one of our strongest marketing tools. Now imagine someone suffering with hearing loss, simply being able to go online, fill out some specifications, and receiving an assistance product.
So due to our connection with our consumers being our primary goal here, our profit margins aren't exactly going to be too high at first, meaning we're going to be able to have a very competitive price of around $550 going into this market. And, so since we are going to be based in software primarily, that gives us a lot of opportunities for potential gains even after the customer has the product in their hand. So even after they've already purchased the product, we can then further have extended warranty subscriptions, future software upgrades, and going into stage 3 of our company, we can even add further features like translation. So yeah, our major costs are going to be manufacturing and software, and then marketing. The manufacturing is actually going to be pretty easy here. All we have to do is focus on not having to take on the load all by ourselves. Partnering with existing companies like Pair Eyewear and LensCrafters will ease that cost of manufacturing. Using companies like Pair Eyewear for the actual frames and to make sure that we can fit our components in there. And then companies like LensCrafters who can actually provide the subscriptions of the lenses themselves to then further aid consumers who may have vision impairments as well. They are glasses. And so since this market is so big with around, $15 billion here, $15 billion market for AR glasses and a $1.5 billion for purely what we're going to aim for initially, only capturing a fraction of 1% of the market will yield very high gains here with profits around $500,000 for the first year after we launch. Of course, the first year itself in stage 1 is going to be primarily on working and having a working pair of glasses with our software installed on it. So at that stage, not too much, but the second we launch, it's going to really skyrocket.
So we're seeking aid to pave our future in innovation. These funds will go towards manufacturing and testing a prototype, as well as developing software. We also in the future plan to develop a new line of glasses which have a translation feature for foreigners to eliminate any language barriers.
Yes, and the funding that we would be requesting here would be in the range of around $25,000 to $35,000 at first, just to develop a prototype with our software to then attract even more investors to then gain more so that we can actually establish these lines of distribution and manufacturing with these other companies. And for stage 3 of our product, even after we launch, we don't want to stop our pursuit of innovation, and we want to add future features such as translation, so we don't only have to deal with the communication barriers of hearing impairments, but those with different languages. Because at SoulScribe, we aim, at the end of the day, to remove the communication barriers of our society. Thank you very much.
Couple questions, short question. Who's in charge of software in your team?
Oh, that would be Jacob.
Okay, cool. And the other question is, have you guys looked into safety certification, patents, and Medicare reimbursement, or is it a medical device? Anything related to that?
Wait, you got that?
Yeah. So we didn't want to, we haven't dived too deep into that. And for use in the medical field, we were concerned that it might limit our potential reach as we try to innovate our product. So that is a very viable option for us, but we weren't too sure on it. So.
Thank you.
$550 per pair is significantly higher than the smart glasses on the market. Is that what you're thinking? Is it going to be $550 going forward, or will you try to be more competitive over time?
Most definitely, we're going to try to be more competitive over time. The lower the prices of the glasses, I mean, the happier our consumers are going to be, the more they're going to, share.
How do you think you'll be able to do that?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so as we spend more, we get more money for research. As I said before, we're going to be partnering with other companies. As we get in-house manufacturing and things like that, we'll be able to lower the cost significantly, I believe, so then we can have much more competitive pricing, yeah.
What would drive organizations like LensCrafters or Pair Eyewear to work with you, to partner with you?
Well, obviously, it's not going to be particularly lucrative for them going forward. It's going to be much the trust of the company for us to give them a good ROI going forward with our company. So, I don't want to say the goodness of their heart, obviously, but yeah. But yeah, just having them be able to enter into that market of smart glasses will be promising for them.
Okay, next up, we want to welcome to the stage Jana Marks, Dylan Kraka, and Colin Emerson with Grab It from San Marcos.
Hi, I'm Jana, this is Colin, this is Dylan, and we're Grab It. We're building a peer-to-peer rental marketplace for outdoor gear, because the cost of a first trip should not be the reason that stops you from taking it. We have a live MVP, 11 stewards in Santa Barbara have already signed on, and over the next 8 minutes, we want to walk you through what we've built and where it goes next. Here's the gap that built this company. The average ski package costs $1,600. Surfboards easily $1,000, mountain bikes $2,000. Now look at how often that gear actually gets used. Industry data puts ski equipment at roughly 5 days a year. Surfboards, climbing kits, camping gear all show the same pattern. 97% of the year, the gear sits idle in the garage doing absolutely nothing. Two things follow from this. The supply already exists in every coastal garage, and the demand exists too, because cost is constantly the top barrier, keeping people out of outdoor activities. The supply is sitting there, the access is not.
So here's what we built. Grab It is a two-sided marketplace. Stewards, the people who already own gear, list it in under 10 minutes. Adventurers browse, book, and pick up locally, similar to sites such as Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. We sit in the middle and run trust. Identity verification through Persona, payment escrow through Stripe Connect, pre- and post-rental photo evidence, and embedded insurance through Oyster up to $1,500 per incident. That trust stack is what makes this fundamentally different from sites like Facebook Marketplace, where two strangers have to negotiate trust on their own. The MVP is live right now at grabitgear.lovable.app, and we plan to use our first round of seed funding to take this to a hardened production platform. Additionally, outdoor gear has a heavy environmental footprint. 65% of that comes from manufacturing per Arc'teryx's own data. REI's research shows that buying used instead of buying new cuts that in half. Here's how we fit in. Every rental on Grab It is a purchase replaced. Every purchase replaced is one less item that needs to be manufactured, shipped, and landfilled. We aim to improve marketplace sustainability and make the gear market less focused towards outdoor gear waste.
Now, California is where Grab It was born, and it's where we're going to win first. The US outdoor recreation market is a $697 billion industry, per the Bureau of Economic Analysis. California leads every state at $88 billion. The slice we can actually move is in outdoor retail, $19 billion of California GDP alone. Our year 5 target is $20 million in gross revenue. that's 0.1% of that retail number. We don't need to win the entire market. We only need to win a sliver of it.
To prototype is live, we hand recruited 11 stewards in Santa Barbara before even spending a single dollar in marketing. We interviewed 25 people on the street across surfing, camping, climbing, and skiing. A clear majority had skipped an outdoor activity in the last year, specifically because of gear cost. The most common quote, "I would rather not go than spend $700 to rent skis for a week." The gap is real, it's specific, it's local, and we have the receipts.
Here's the unit economics. The average gross rental value is $65. A 2-day surfboard, a 1-day kayak, a weekend camping kit. The renter pays a 10% service fee, and the steward pays a 5% platform fee. That's a 15% blended take rate. So we net around $975 per rental. Out of that, we pay Stripe $238 and Oyster $3. We net $437 per rental. That's a 45% profit margin on platform revenue. Every 100 monthly transactions adds about $438 in monthly contribution with no inventory risk on our side.
Now, there are 3 competitors worth naming. First is Facebook Marketplace. While it handles the supply, it has zero trust built in. You're essentially meeting strangers with no escrow, no insurance, and no recourse if anything goes wrong. Overall, we win on trust. Second is your traditional retail rental shops. You know, the surf shops and ski shops. But they charge 30 to 40% more than we do, and they're geographically limited to wherever their storefront sits. We win on inventory. Third is REI Rentals. It works well if you're a member, if you want the big box gear, and if you only need it for a short window. But we win on neighborhood density and the long tail categories REI simply does not carry.
We're not trying to be everywhere at once, so we propose a 3-year plan. Year 1 is Santa Barbara only, supply limited at 1,000 transactions, enough to prove density in one area. Year 2, we open to LA and the San Francisco Bay, 12,000 transactions in 2 markets with year-round outdoor calendars. Year 3, we expand into San Diego, Sacramento, and the rest of California through the same trust rails. 80,000 transactions, and that's the year we break even with around $40,000 gross revenue. Our growth is supply-driven, not a demand miracle.
We start with 3 founders at 30% equity each, with 10% reserved for advisors and key early hires. A 12-month cliff, 36-month vest, and IP assigned to the entity at formation. Janne, that's me on strategy, business development, and finance. Colin built and shipped the working MVP, and Dylan owns vendor selection, steward onboarding, and the dispute process. These are the advisors guiding Grabbit. Graham Olson is our entrepreneurship teacher and a lead advisor. He's been with Grabbit since it was just an idea on a whiteboard. And we got Sergio Villa. He's our finance teacher. He's the one who pushes back on our numbers and makes sure our financials actually hold up under pressure. And we got Anya Bedford. She's our operations advisor. She currently works as a COO at Squads Labs, has an MBA from Oxford, and previously scaled a startup to over 40 people. She's who we turn to when we have bigger questions about scaling and operations.
Now we're aiming on raising $100,000 on a friends and family safe to take our live MVP to a hardened production platform and eventually launch in California. 30% of the production web build on Next.js and Superbase. Another 30% goes to marketing and user acquisition, including welcome vouchers to seed both sides of the marketplace. And the rest covers legal and compliance and a runway buffer. This funding gets us to 1,000 paid transactions in Santa Barbara by the end of 2027. Those are the proof points we need to raise our $1.5 to $2.5 million seed round in late 2027.
Adventure made accessible.
The platform is live.
11 stewards already signed on.
A $19 billion California opportunity sitting right in front of us. We're not asking you to bet on our success. We're asking you to bet on a prototype that already works in a market we already live in with a trust stack that's already integrated. Feel free to ask any questions, and please check out our website on the QR code above. Thank you.
A couple questions. Interesting to hear your plan. I like to go to different states. Talk about marketing growth and how you expect to build your user base through different channels.
Yeah, so our user acquisition would mainly work with vouchers. that we get the first couple of rentals get the renter can get them for cheap, and the first stewards who sign on get like a bonus, like a $25 bonus. We thought about that. Yeah, right there. 15K in vouchers and 15K in paid plus campus partnerships, which concludes in roughly $30 customer acquisition costs.
Thank you.
Can you clarify who sets the price for the product?
So that's the steward himself. We want to build an AI tool which gives you like an roughly like estimated value for which you could rent it, yeah, similar to Depop or like to other like seller-based web platforms. Yeah.
Of the 25 people that you spoke with, what was the most interesting insight? Maybe the most surprising?
I think the most surprising part is how many people actually want to go outside, but they just can't. Like they want to try like spearfishing, maybe they want to go golf, but they just don't know how to start and they don't want to spend too much money on gear.
How long do you think it would take for someone to be able to get a gear if they just came to Santa Barbara and wanted a kayak? Like how many hours would it take?
Yeah, so when you go for the user interface, you could click on a listing and you can request to buy it. The response from the steward should be in 24 hours, so he should be able to rent it within a day.
Okay, next up we have Samantha Fallon, Kyle Villa, Isla McClintock, thank you, and Caleb Miners with Stan Tall from San Marcos.
Good evening. We are so excited to share with you our business, Stand Tall. My name is Samantha Fallon, and I'm the CEO and founder of Stand Tall.
I'm Isla McClintock, and I'm the CMO.
I'm Caleb Miners, and I'm the CFO.
I'm Kyle Villa, and I'm the COO.
Before we tell you about Stand Tall, we first want to look at the growing problem we are trying to solve. Currently, millions of teens are developing a habit that nobody is talking about: poor posture caused by excessive screen time. Research from the Brown University shows that the average teen spends over 7 hours a day on screens. While that might sound shocking, it's becoming the new normal for our generation. These long hours on devices are leading to increasing back and neck issues at younger ages. Often referred to as tech neck, poor screen posture results in weakened muscles, causing a hunchback. A healthy spine has a gentle S-curve. However, prolonged device use can flatten the cervical spine, creating a C-curve. Research from the American Neuroscience Institute found that 73% of teens report symptoms related to tech neck. That statistic is incredibly high, and it's only continuing to grow as our generation spends more time on screens. And let's be honest, half of us are probably slouching right now. Every time we present this, we literally watch the entire room sit up straighter. But there's no need to worry, because we found a solution, and that solution is Stand Tall. Stand Tall is a wearable device about the size of a quarter that attaches to your upper back and monitors posture throughout the day. We paired it with the Stand Tall app, which uses eye tracking technology to detect head misalignment when using your phone and alert you to return to a neutral angle. The Stand Tall app allows users to track progress, build streaks, compete with friends, and more. We believe that through the combined features of Stand Tall, we can help teens build healthy posture habits that last a lifetime.
So, how does it work? First, you're going to apply the patch to your upper back. Then, the patch will detect your slouching, and the patch will give you a gentle buzz to notify you, reminding you to stand tall and allowing you to build better habits. On our app, you'll be able to track your progress and posture improvement. You'll be able to engage with friends and family and compete with other users such as Spine Queen and Back Boss. Who wouldn't want to compete with them? Then, you'll also have recommended exercises you can do to improve your posture. And on the app, we'll have eye tracking technology. So, for example, if Caleb's on his phone and he's slouching, he'll get a notification from the Stand Tall app reminding him to stand tall. Our target market. We're choosing to focus on teens. This is because our competitors already market to the crowds that are older, so 40 plus and people who already have pre-existing back problems. Instead, we want to prevent this problem by helping teens build good posture habits and avoid the future back problems. Also, most teens haven't heard of posture corrector devices, so this leaves us a big market opportunity. Marketing strategy. We're teens, so we know how to market to teens. We'll do this by social media outreach, so TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and we'll use engaging content to do so. We'll also do influencer partnerships and endorsements with health and wellness influencers.
Okay, now for the exciting part, the finances. To start, we have a $55 one-time purchase patch that will allow you to connect to your app. The app will have no subscriptions to make for an annoyance-free user experience. For other revenue streams, we have adhesive refill packs for customers to apply to old patches and custom designs for customers who want to personalize their experience. For the path to cash flow positive, we'll be profiting $200,000 by the end of the first year when we launch our product and advertise heavily, $500,000 by year 2 by increasing our sales volume, and by year 3, we'll be net cash positive $1 million. At this point, we'll be self-sustaining and running smoothly. You may be curious, how are we so confident in these bold numbers? Well, when we take a look at the market value for neck posture correction, the entire market is $6 billion. And with the total market value in Santa Barbara being $8 million, California $620 million, and the whole US having a $4.2 billion market, it gives us plenty of room for us to move into and capture the revenue. We will do this by having a 60% gross margins rate, with our cost to make being $15, including all of our total expenses, and our selling price being $55, creating a total gross profit of $37 per patch.
To get Stand Tall off the ground, we've developed a financial plan focused on high-impact growth. We're raising $20,000 through a friends and family safe, which allows us to secure capital quickly and professionally. The investment is split into 4 key categories. We'll fund our first inventory run, finalize the app, handle legal setup, and launch our first marketing campaigns. When you look on the market, most solutions are either impractical, like a basic elastic brace, or they are very limited on what they actually track. As you can see on this chart, Stand Tall is the only product that checks every mark. We aren't just matching the competition, we're moving past them. What really sets us apart are 2 things: eye tracking technology for extreme accuracy and a gamified social experience. We've turned posture from a boring chore into a social habit that people actually want to engage with every day. To ensure Stand Tall is built on a solid foundation, we are supported by a world-class advisory board. Graham Olson will help lead our business strategy to build a scalable company. Rhonda Fallon will head our branding to reach the wellness market. And Ryan Yamada will oversee product validation to ensure clinical effectiveness.
So, you might be asking yourself, why us? As student athletes and students in the San Marcos Entrepreneurship Academy, we see growing posture issues affecting our generation firsthand. So, we created Stand Tall to help our generation build healthier habits and more confidence.
Thank you so much for listening. We believe that Stand Tall has the potential to help the next generation build healthier habits and improve long-term wellness, and we hope you do too.
A couple questions. What's been the most difficult part of the project, or what is maybe the most risk you see out there?
We'd say the most difficult part is probably figuring out all of the technology and how we're going to produce it and manufacture it. So we know what our next steps are to find manufacturing, but it's just figuring out how we're going to get the technology and how we're going to get it out to people.
So you mentioned you think you'll get to revenue of $1 million in year 1, which at $50 per product, it's 20,000 people. How Is that realistic?
Did you say 1 million first year?
That's what it was on the slide.
We had a predicted $200,000 by the end of the first year, so it wasn't a million. It was a million by the third year.
I think it was $1 million revenue, which is how much
Oh yeah,
you're
we
making.
predict heavy marketing, so we'll just use tons of marketing, just really focus on that, and just try to get it out to everyone.
I can finish that question off too. So with our marketing, we noticed that the competitors had no, they didn't focus on teens at all. So we have a very big available market for that. And asking around, we would ask other people in our grade, around our school, have they ever heard of posture correction devices? Nobody had. So we see this huge opportunity for, again, a lot of revenue. So if that helps answer your question, yeah.
What do you do when someone starts to ignore the buzz? What happens then?
Yeah. Do you want to answer? Okay.
That's a great question, and that's something that we're still working on right now. But on the app, we're going to have a buzz that you can set what kind of buzz you want. So if you want like a higher frequency buzz or something that's more like, oh wow, I just got buzzed, or something that's more gentle, you can kind of set it to how you want it. So it should be a good reminder. Yeah.
Next up, we have Jesus Reyes, Adrian Cedino, Lincoln Gore of Say Hi from Cabrillo.
Good afternoon. This is Say Hi. We say the word hello every day, yet somehow it can be the hardest word to say to someone new. We live in a world more digitally connected than ever before, and yet somehow starting a conversation with a stranger has never felt harder. Think about it. You're traveling. You're surrounded by interesting people from all over the world. You want to connect, but you hesitate. You don't know how to start. So you stay in your own bubble and the moment passes. Research shows that 70% of people feel nervous starting a conversation with strangers. People miss out on friendships, memories, and experiences. Not because they didn't want to connect, but because no one took the first step. That moment of hesitation is the problem we're solving. Say Hi turns your clothing into a built-in conversation starter. Each shirt is inspired by a specific travel destination and feature phrases, sometimes in the local language that naturally invites people to talk to you. Instead of figuring out what to say first, your shirt says it for you. But before we go further, let me tell you who we are, because this brand didn't come from a textbook. I'm Jesus, founder of Stay Hi. I've stood in this exact room before and placed third, so I know what it takes to be here. I speak English and Spanish, and I've been studying Japanese for the past year. I got accepted into Temple University of Japan, and I plan to study international affairs there. Stay Hi isn't just a business idea to me. It's the brand I would have worn on day one in Tokyo.
My name's Lincoln. I'm a senior from Cabrillo High School who received a recommendation or congressional recommendation from Representative Salud Carbajal, our U.S. representative, our district's U.S. representative from Congress. In the fall, I'm going to be attending Santa Barbara City College to study political science.
I'm Adrian, team member, and I'm the person on this team who makes sure what we plan actually gets done. And this summer, I will be starting my cosmetology school to eventually get my license. And my main goal one day is to open my own shop and give back to my community. The global apparel industry is worth over $1.7 trillion. We're not trying to compete with everyone in it. We're targeting a very specific, underserved customer. Our customer is someone who travels, studies abroad, or visits new places who genuinely wants to connect with the people around them. Younger generations today are choosing experiences over things. Say Hi is a product that delivers both. The opportunity isn't just in selling clothing. It is selling a feeling, the feeling of being open, confident, and ready to meet the world. There's no shortage of clothing brands out there. Travel apparel brands sell the look of adventure, souvenir shops sell the memory of a place, and lifestyle brands sell an identity. But none of them sell a purpose. Say Hi focus on behavior. It gives people a reason to interact in the real world. There's no other clothing brand that gives someone a built-in reason for a stranger to walk up and say something. That's our lane, and right now, it's wide open.
Say Hi has two key advantages that set us apart. First, production. We produce our shirts in-house, which allows us to keep our production costs low, turnaround time fast, and quality in our own hands. We don't need to outsource, we don't need a warehouse, and we can test new designs and have products ready in days, not months. Second, concept. Say Hi isn't just a clothing brand, it's an experience. Every shirt we sell carries a purpose to help someone connect with another human being. That's not something you can just copy or copy with just a logo. Say Hi runs on a simple, healthy business model. Our shirts sell for $20 and our hoodies for $35. Each shirt costs about $7.50 to produce, giving us a 62% gross margin on every shirt sold. And our hoodies cost about $17 to produce, giving us a 52% margin, keeping profitability strong across our entire product line. Customers cover their own shipping, which allows us to keep overhead costs low, allowing us to scale without adding major costs. We're not chasing volume on day one. We're building a brand with strong margins and a product people actually want to talk about. I'm not going to stand up here and tell you that we'll run ads and go viral. That's not a strategy, that's hope. We will document real interactions, short videos of actual conversations started by the shirt, and we'll post directly onto TikTok and Instagram. Authentic content will sell our concept way better than any ad will. All sales run through our own direct-to-consumer online store. No retailers, no middlemen, at least for now. We'll keep the full margin and own the customer relationship from day one. Our customers aren't just buyers, the proof that the concept actually works.
Our projections start small and grow with intention. Month 1, we estimate around $200 in revenue. That's roughly 16 shirts. Month 2, we estimate around $600, which is 48 shirts, and that is our break-even point. Month 3, $1,500. Month 4, $2,000. Month 5, $2,500 as word spread and repeat customers return. Because our margins are strong, every dollar we make gets reinvested directly into growing the brand. Our startup cost is approximately $600, and here's exactly where it goes. $250 goes toward inventory and production, blank shirts, hoodies, vinyl materials, packaging, and a buffer for extra supplies. $230 goes toward marketing, website setup, social media ads on TikTok and Instagram, design work, and gifting shirts to micro-influencers in the travel and study abroad space. $80 is reserved as an emergency fund for unexpected costs, and $40 covers miscellaneous expenses as we launch.
Everything we've shown you on paper, this is what it looks like in real life. We didn't just plan this, we built it. This is a Say Hi shirt. And the moment someone reads it, the conversation has already started. At its core, Say Hi is more than a clothing brand. It's a simple idea with a real purpose, to help people step outside their comfort zone, connect with strangers, and turn a moment of hesitation into a memory they'll actually keep. We've built this from the ground up, with a heat press, a school classroom, and a genuine belief that the world gets better when people talk to each other. What we're really hoping to gain from this competition isn't the prize money. It's a connection, a mentor, who's been where we haven't yet, because there's only so far a classroom can take us. Thank you for your time.
How important is the material of the shirt? There's a lot in the news about some brands using chemicals in their material that are unhealthy. What is your learn of your customers? How important is that?
Well, to be honest, so right now what we have so far is a prototype, and we didn't really focus on the material itself and how we produced it. The main goal right now is to have a viable prototype and continue to expand from there. But as we slowly expand and upscale, we will start focusing on what customers want, and depending on their answer, we will focus our company from that.
Thank you.
2 quick questions. The first is, which country are you thinking of production for these shirts?
So at first, we're focusing on Santa Barbara, And as we slowly expand, we'll move from Las Vegas, New York, Washington, D.C., and then once we have California conquered, we'll move to internationally.
So you're thinking of making it in Santa Barbara?
Yep.
From scratch? Okay. Second question is the defensive moat. I mean, Amazon can copy the design pretty quickly and sell it faster.
Right.
How are you thinking about that?
So basically, we'll have our product out first. So we're hoping that our customers will trust us and stay with us before going to a big company. Maybe they'll trust a small company.
How do you prevent the customer acquisition costs from getting too high?
Could you rephrase that question?
Marketing gets very expensive, especially for products like this, where you have a very competitive marketplace.
Right.
So how do you avoid having to spend so much on marketing that you're no longer making money on your product?
Okay. So we know for a fact the first 100 customers is the most important and the hardest to get. So what we're
Finish.
So we're gonna put our shoes on, get in our cars, go down to our nearest airports and beach, start selling them hand by hand, making sure they're known. And we're gonna be telling them, oh, tell your friends, tell your friends. And from there, we'll start our own Instagram, give our shirts out to micro influencers, and progress from there.
Good answer.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, well done. And moving on, we have Grayson Felch, Aaliyah Kaba, Joshua Menth of Peanut Poppers from San Marcos.
Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? This is Peanut Poppers. I'm Grayson.
I'm Joshua.
I'm Aaliyah.
Dental disease is actually one of the most common health issues in dogs, and most dog owners know their dog have a bad breath, but when they try to do something about it, they run into the same problem. Brushing is a struggle, dogs hate it, and it's hard to keep up with a busy schedule, so they turn to dental treats instead. But most of these treats are either eaten in seconds, don't have strong active ingredients, and honestly, don't make much of a difference. Owners want a solution that actually works, but nothing out there is really delivering that. That's exactly why we created Peanut Poppers. Peanut Poppers is our answer to prevent dental disease. Instead of a treat that gets eaten in seconds and does nothing, we designed something that keeps dogs engaged longer and actually delivers real dental benefits. It's convenient, cost-effective for only $8 a bag, and it fits into any daily routine without extra effort from the owner. No brushing, no additives, no gels. Just give your dog a treat and let it do the work.
All right, so judges, we actually have our minimum viable product for you in these little goodie bags. So as you can see, it's a paw-shaped treat that has two textures that work together, a hard outer layer that gets your dog chewing longer, which is actually what helps scrape off plaque and tartar with the aid of dental enzymes, and a chewy center that contains 100% dog-safe ingredients, such as xylitol-free peanut butter, parsley, mint, and coconut oil. Those key items are what actually fight the bad breath caused by bacteria. I would also love to mention that we've already made and tested it with one of the many dog owners we have given it to, and her dog loved it. He stayed engaged, chewed longer, and she noticed a big difference between brushing and the treat. So this isn't just a concept, we've already shown that dogs actually want it.
So who is our target market? Our ideal customer is a dog owner who's aged 18 to 45. They have moderate to high income and they live in a suburban or urban area, and they are active on social media, following pet care trends, and they care deeply about their pet. They value high quality ingredients, they value convenience and effectiveness, and they also shop online and at pet stores, which is where we will be.
Alrighty, so how many of you in here owns a pet? Awesome, well that's a big handful. So let's talk about the market we're entering. So the US pet industry exceeds over $100 billion a year, and it's growing faster than ever. The reason for that is simple. People see their pets like family. Things like premium food, grooming, and healthcare are all seeing huge growth because owners care about their pet's quality of life. Within this, many dogs struggle with dental hygiene. As owners are becoming more aware of that, They're actually looking for convenient ways to prevent it. Now, you've probably heard of Greenies, Pedigree's Dentistics, and Whimsies. Those are our main competitors, and yes, they're popular, but here's the thing. They all use a single, boring texture design, which means dogs eat them faster, and there's not much cleaning happening. And the ingredients, let's be real, no one is gonna read top to bottom. Peanut Poppers is different because the dual texture and the simplicity of our ingredients. However, there are other competitors like brushing and tooth gels. And look, those can work, but most owners don't use them consistently because they're too much of a hassle. And based on an interview we conducted, we were able to get insight on a customer who gave up on toothbrushes. She switched to Greenies not because she thought they worked great, but because they were convenient. That tells us there's a real opening for a product that's just as easy but actually delivers real results.
So our operations. Our treats will be made in a food-safe home kitchen and we'll be using silicone molds, mixers, and other equipment like this. And our entire setup will set us back around $3,200. But this is only temporary, and we will move on to co-manufacturing early on. This will allow us to scale up production and sales. And when it comes to distribution, we will be direct to consumer through our Shopify website. We will accept all major payment methods. As volume grows past 700 orders a month, we'll get a third party to handle storage, packaging, and shipping. All right, who is excited to talk numbers? Woo! Yeah! All right, in year one, our expected revenue is over $500,000 and just under $1.8 million in year two and nearly $3 million in year three. Our direct costs bite into about 38% of our revenue, leading to a 62% gross margin. After accounting for expenses, net profit is projected at around $150,000 in year one, $500,000 in year two, and over $800,000 in year three. Our net margins are 27 to 29%, and our subscription model is what makes this growth possible. We anticipate our subscriptions to account for over 50% of our revenue by year three.
All right, so how are we gonna get the word out? Through social media such as TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. We're first going to be posting videos of dogs trying the treat for the first time, and their reactions, the kind of content that pet owners stop scrolling for. We're also going to partner with influencers who already have the audience we're trying to reach as well. On top of that, we're going to get into local pet stores through sampling and in-store promotions, because the more exposed we are, the more customers will keep coming back. We'll also use email marketing through Klaviyo, where customers get reorder reminders, promotions, and tips on dental health for their dogs.
Here at Peanut Poppers, we are a team of 3 people. I, Grayson, am the CEO. I own 40% of the company and lead overall strategy, product development, and operation. Aaliyah is our CMO with 30% ownership, handling all things marketing like social media, brand identity, influencer partnerships, and customer acquisition. And Joshua is our CFO with also 30% ownership, managing our financials, budgeting, and performance tracking. We're structured as an LLC, which gives us flexibility in products, or protects our personal assets as we grow. We're also so lucky to have 2 advisors supporting us. Mr. Graham Olson is our entrepreneurship mentor, helping us with business strategies and making smart decisions as we grow. And Mr. Villa is our financial advisor, keeping us grounded on pricing, budgeting, and scaling. Having experienced people in our team means we're not figuring this out alone. We have guidance from people who have done this before, and that gives us a real advantage as a small company just getting started.
So to recap, Peanut Poppers is solving a real problem that millions of dog owners face every single day. And our product has already been tested and validated, and we have a clear path to market and a financial model that works. We truly believe this can become the go-to dental treat brand for you and your dog. It doesn't take a cool pair of glasses to see the potential in this product. So help us help you give your companion a positively fresh smile.
What's your plan to prevent people from copying you? And have you looked into patents or other safety or certification type of things?
Yeah, if I can just answer that real quick. So to prevent other companies like Dentistics and Whimsies and Greenies to prevent from copying us, what we'll do is we'll grow our customer loyalty quicker, And since there are other dual textures, but they're mainly for cats, and if you go to the shelves right now, most of the toothbrushes, which are like one single texture, they're all gone because they've built their customer loyalty only on one single texture.
Thank you.
Are you thinking of bootstrapping, or do you think there will be opportunity for venture funding for your business?
Sorry, could you rephrase that?
Are you raising venture funding, like VC backed? Are you thinking of growing organically on your own, slowly, or are you trying to like grow faster? Do you think you will raise money?
Yeah,
to
if we can raise money, that would help us grow faster, but ultimately we are relying on our own funds to get the business started.
Are you concerned that the name doesn't necessarily point to a dental product, if that's your main category?
Yeah, so it is our main category, but we chose to name ourselves Peanut Poppers because we think that it really sticks out with the marketing. We're targeting audiences from 18 to 45. They want something fun, and we made sure to make our product fun. And with the dual texture, I think it really sticks out rather than just one single texture. And all of the other ones just look like a stick.
Do you think this restricts you to making peanut-based products forever?
I don't think so. I don't think it'll ever restrict us. I think we'll just keep expanding. Maybe try out different flavors too.
Okay.
Let's welcome to the stage right now Nikita Thomas with Dutch from Providence.
Hello everyone, my name is Nikita B. Thomas and I'm a sophomore student at Providence School, Santa Barbara County, currently enrolled in its Entrepreneurship Academy. Today I will be introducing you to Dutch, a bill splitting app that takes calculations out of connections. Why Dutch? Because Let's Go Dutch is synonymous with let's split the bill individually, and that's exactly the solution to the problem I'm trying to solve. Manually splitting bills after a group event is a daunting and awkward task that most restaurant goers immensely dislike. A bill or a group outing can have uneven items, tips, and taxes that make it difficult to split manually. According to a study conducted by Qualtrics, nearly 1/3 of millennials and Gen Z feel awkward splitting the bill when dining out with friends. Figuring out who owes what, chasing folks down to get their shares, and settling the bill is not the kind of thing most people look forward to after having a good time. Existing bill splitting apps require manual entries and have complex user interfaces, making it not much easier than doing it themselves. My solution to this problem, Dutch. The Dutch app will use a simple flow for splitting checks. Scan, extract, split. You take a photo of the bill, the AI extracts the information from the photo and itemizes it. You decide how much to tip, then you choose how to split the bill, evenly or itemized per person. The app calculates the total with tax and tip included and splits the bill among the group. That's it. No math, no errors, no awkward conversations. The app will be developed in JavaScript using the open source React Native tool and will be launched in both iOS and Android. The development cycle will be short, around 2 person months, including testing, and will require only a computer, mobile devices, internet connection, and basic coding skills. I will spearhead the app development with the occasional help of external consultants. The main 3 competitor apps are Splitwise, released in 2011, Tab, released in 2013, and Split, released in 2015. Splitwise is only available for iOS, while Tab and Split are available for both iOS and Android. Splitwise costs $4.99 per month, and Split costs $3.99 upfront, while Tab is free. Splitwise and Tab offer itemization, Split doesn't. None of these apps offer AI receipt scanning and therefore require different degrees of manual entry and manual itemization. Splitwise has 10 million monthly users, and it's unclear how many of these are paid users. It also is unclear how many monthly users Tab or Split have. The total available market for bill splitting apps is estimated to be in the $1 billion to $5 billion range, with a serviceable attainable market available in the $100 million to $500 million range. The realistic serviceable attainable market for the Dutch app in the US and Europe is in the 100,000 to 500,000 range in the first year and $1 million to $5 million range in the first 3 years. The primary users of this app will be younger folks, ages 16 to 40, who are more socially active. The early adopters will be college students and young urban professionals in the US and Europe. These customers value both time efficiency and social engagement. The subscription for the app will be $1 per month for up to 90 receipts and $3 per month for unlimited receipts. Most competitor apps with reduced functionality, no AI receipt scanning, cost more than $3 per month for unlimited receipts. The $1 per month subscription will cover most users and is priced well below the market. Apple and Google will charge a 15% fee per user per month. AI scanning and cloud storage will cost 15 cents per user, which is also the 15% per month. Other operating costs and marketing costs will account for 10 cents per user per month, bringing the cost of services plus other costs per unit to 40 cents per user per month at the end of year one. Net profit per user per month will therefore be 60 cents at the end of year one in the United States towards the end of year one, and further expand this internationally by year three by hiring global. We will do this by hiring global media influencers. The app will use viral loops to encourage the group to download the app to participate in deciding tips and finalizing splits. We will also be hiring media influencers and doing things with campus ambassadors. The Dutch app will be launched on July 1st, 2026 on Apple App Store and Google Play Store. We expect 10,000 paid users by the end of the first year, bringing in a revenue of $10,000 per month at the end of year one. After $4,000 per month in monthly expenses, the net profit at the end of year one will be $6,000 per month. We will break even when we get 2,800 paid users. This is expected to happen around 10 months after launch. During the first year, most of the technical and non-technical work will be performed by me with the occasional use of consultants for use with the app development. An advisory board of 1 to 2 advisors, volunteers, will also be set up. During the second year, 1 to 2 full-time app and maintenance engineers will be hired with continued occasional use of consultants for further app development. During the third year, the technical team will grow to up to 5 to 10 maintenance engineers and 3 to 5 app development engineers. 2 directors for marketing and finance will also be added. I will continue to serve as CEO and CTO, and the advisory board will go to 3 to 5 advisors paid. Human resources, legal, and accounting will be outsourced throughout the years. My advisory team is comprised of Jamie DeVries and Brian Anderson. Mr. DeVries is an upper school humanities, economics, and Bible teacher at Providence School, Santa Barbara, as well as the founder of Kids Helping Kids. Mr. Anderson is the upper school math and engineering teacher, as well as the academic support director of Providence School. Together, they run the Entrepreneurship Academy at Providence. We estimated to cost less than $5,000 to launch the business, which includes the cost of computers and mobile devices, software, yearly co-working costs, office supplies, LLC setup costs, and other legal and tax compliant costs. This initial seed capital will come as a gift from my parents. An additional gift of $10,000 from them will serve as a contingency buffer. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It was an honor to present Dutch to you. I hope you choose to take calculations out of connection.
Questions on how much thought have you put into getting to that 10,000 users, and do you have different ways of getting it, or was it more just a general forecast?
So basically by just talking to different people, like I've been talking to a lot of people recently, and myself included, like it's really annoying to split bills and it takes forever. One of the competitors I mentioned was Tab. Their manual thing took me like 20 minutes extra than doing it myself. So I think talking to different colleges and students like that, different students who just go to dinners before dance or something, could really help in that situation, yeah.
Thank you.
Why didn't you include Venmo on your list of competitors?
So that would be a later situation. Eventually we get to a peer payment situation, and then also integrate different ways to pay directly on the app, like Apple Pay, Venmo, and that sort of thing.
Can you expand this to other things like Ubers or other things that you might split with friends?
I think eventually you could. I think the focus on this was more because of an AI scanning system, which was a photo, you could do that. But if it was completely online, yes, you could absolutely do that.
And how do you prevent Venmo, Group, or Splitwise to add a photo-taking capability to their current product?
I think they completely can, and a lot of them are trying to. However, AI just paying for that sort of thing isn't something a lot of people want to do. And then with that sort of thing, people just don't want to do that. And also with them trying to do competitor stuff, like they're trying to focus on different things and outreach people. So I would be focusing more on like a smaller group setting so I could focus more on that money situation.
What feature in the app is like the most painful to lose if they decide to cancel?
I think if losing something to different competitors would obviously be the AI aspect, just because it is what makes it more efficient. Because if you do it manually, it's going to take a very long time. But the point of this is so you can shorten it down to like a minute or something.
All right, please welcome to the stage Stella Kramer and Macy Lynn of Alum Advice from San Marcos.
Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for being here. My name is Stella Kramer.
I'm Harrison Lingle.
And I'm Macy Lynn.
And we are Alum Advice. So there's a huge problem high schoolers are facing every single year. Students are struggling in classes and they're not prepared for college when they get to it. In an effort to supplement this, families are spending tens of thousands of dollars hiring expensive private college counselors and tutors who are still not giving them the outcomes that they're desiring. Their mental health is being impacted, and it's just a big problem that's impacting everyone. With an average student-to-counselor ratio of 400 to 1, there are undeniable gaps happening. This means that when freshmen enter high schools every year, they have questions about what classes to take, what clubs to join, and which opportunities to pursue, but they're left in the lurch, and those questions are not being answered. At the same time, seniors are graduating their exact high school with all the answers, but that knowledge is not being captured and instead disappears with them.
Alum Advice solves these problems by connecting students with upperclassmen mentors from their school who can pass on their knowledge. We offer features like Q&A forums, mentor testimonials, a browse advice tab, and opportunity discovery to ensure that all students have the tools needed to become successful in high school.
We've built a minimum viable product through vibe coding on Base 44. This means that we have a fully functional website that is ready to launch. We have example mentor profiles and all the features on there. Our plan is to first launch at the 4 local high schools, Santa Barbara, San Marcos, Dos Pueblos, and Laguna. From there, we'll grow our customer base and prove that there's a demand for this, and then we'll focus on monetization. Once we decide that we need to expand beyond Santa Barbara is when we can consider bringing in a coder to help us upgrade our technology. But until then, we'll have a feedback forum so users can let us know which features need some help and which they are valuing the most, so we can continue to improve our technology as we go along.
We have a few main target demographics. Firstly, we have parents who might be anxious about their students entering the high school environment, or parents who want to help with the college applications for older students. We also have school boards who might want to ease the transition for incoming freshmen, create a more tight-knit community, or just ensure that all of their students are reaching their full academic potential.
Our mentees can access Q&A forums, explore advice specific to their interests, and schedule direct mentorship sessions. Our mentors can gain internship experience, community service hours, extracurricular planning, tutoring, and college apps.
We conducted an interview on a 13-year-old 8th grader who is preparing to make the transition into high school. A few of the main issues they talked about were the lack of guidance, not knowing how things like academics will be structured, and the lack of support. Some of the things that they would appreciate were more guidance, personal attention, and help with things like schoolwork and making sure that the transition is as easy and seamless as possible.
The current solutions are not filling all the problems. Some have college help, some have tutoring, and some are cost effective, but it's rare something possesses all these qualities. Not only does Alum Advice have all these aspects, its huge competitive advantage is that it's hyper-localized. This means that instead of having a generic client relationship with an expensive private tutor, you're forming a friendship with someone who's been to your exact school, who's taken your exact class with the same teacher, who might have been in that club or volunteered at that nonprofit. This really sets us apart because if you're looking up on Reddit, an online forum, you're not going to find applicable advice that you can actually use. Alum Advice ensures that you're hearing from people who know exactly how to help you so you can receive the most relevant guidance possible.
Alum Advice will use a two-tier subscription service. The lower tier will cost $10 a month and include limited Q&A access and viewership of mentorship profiles. The higher tier will cost $30 a month and include unlimited Q&A, personalized help, and mentor-on-mentee messaging. Alum Advice will have a one-time purchase service that will cost $15 each. The service will include one-on-one calls, tutoring, and active feedback. Within our full year of operation, we are projected to make over $100,000 in revenue, with our subscriptions growing around 10% a month and our one-time purchase service growing around 15% a month. Between our startup and recurring expenses, which include insurance, maintenance costs, and LLC, it will cost around $30,000 the full year of operation to keep our website running at industry standard. Our funding strategy is to start with a $10,000 friends and family safe. This allows for mistakes to take place and struggles to happen. This positions Alum Advice for rapid scaling due to the minimal overhead that is required.
So we have a $3 billion total addressable market, which is based on all of the junior high and high school students in the U.S., which shows a lot of growth for potential for growth in the future. We have a $1.2 billion serviceable market. It's more specific to college-bound motivated students who are more likely to pay for mentorship. And then we have a $1.5 million service obtainable market, which will be achievable within the next 3 to 5 years through partnerships and local growth. Our marketing is going to focus mainly on direct outreach, which is things like in-person pitches to junior highs and school boards, while also asking school counselors for email promotions to their students. We're also going to make sure to reach as many people as possible through targeted Instagram and TikTok ads and campaigns and referral programs for students who are already involved.
We have 2 primary advisors, both of whom are involved in prestigious academies at San Marcos. Mr. Olson, the director of the San Marcos Entrepreneurship Academy, is helping us ensure that our business is viable and well thought out, while Mr. Nielsen, the director of the Accelerated Academic Program for Leadership and Enrichment, is helping us see all these issues from an administrative perspective to understand the gaps that are there. Both of them can help us connect with freshman mentees who might need this help, as well as successful senior mentors who can pass on their knowledge. I'm Stella Kramer, I'm the CEO, and I'm a senior in high school headed to college next year. There are so many things that looking back I feel that I missed out on, but the biggest one for me was that you can take dual enrollment classes at City College for college credit while you're still in high school. I didn't take advantage of this my first couple years, and it's a big regret of mine.
I'm Harrison Lingle, and I'm the CFO, and I'm a senior, and when I was a freshman, I didn't know what extracurricular activities to take and where to take them.
I'm Macy Lynn, I'm the CMO, and I'm a current junior. As a freshman, I wasn't sure what classes to take or how to make myself stand out to colleges, and now that I'm applying and looking for colleges, I feel very behind.
Had Alum Advice been available to all of us when we were freshmen, we all would have signed up for it. Today, we would all sign up as senior mentors to pass on the knowledge that we've gained.
The problem is students miss out on an array of opportunities even with tutors and advice from online. Our solution is to utilize the upperclassmen to guide the lowerclassmen through peer mentorship, benefiting everyone involved. Our business has high margins with low costs, resulting in a platform that is scalable and easy to improve.
With Alum Advice, guidance never graduates. It keeps giving year after year. Thank you.
So it's a two-sided marketplace in that way that you have to keep the mentors engaged as well, correct?
Yes.
So how are you planning to keep the mentors engaged after their first interactions?
So there's a lot of ways to incentivize people. As you may know, it's harder than ever to get into college, so resume building has become extremely important. Mentors can choose whether they would rather gain community service hours or if they would want to receive compensation for the add-on services. When you apply to college, you can either choose to have If you do work experience, like a paid internship, it's listed as a job, or if you do community service, that goes towards fulfilling your graduation requirements and listing that as community service. So they can choose, but they will gain leadership experience to showcase. And we're also going to have like a tiered achievement platform. So if you've built a really strong relationship with someone and you have a lot of record of addressing a lot of questions, you can move up in rank to show colleges and put it on your resume that you're a really dedicated member.
Maybe a question on the screening and vetting of these mentors. Is there a questionnaire or background check, or how do you vet that they're going to be a value add versus profit?
Yeah, so when they come in first, it's an extensive sign-up process because we want to ensure that the people representing the mentors are like as qualified as possible. So it's a lot of information filling out. We want to make sure that it's specific to the interests. And then as well, in terms of when the content is published, we're going to have a lot of moderation, flagging inappropriate content, because that's an important thing to ensure that as it is school focused, it's just suitable for everyone.
Thank you.
My question is piggybacking on both of their question. One is, can you really monetize this if the mentors are doing it for free? And then the second one is, how do you make sure you have the right matching between the needs and what's being offered?
What group of Valora?
I got accepted.
Okay, here we are with our final team in the lineup today. Please welcome Julia G. Limberti, Eva Stewart, and Amelia Morales with Valora from San Marcos.
How's everyone doing? I know it's the last one, so just bear with us here. Hi, I'm Julia.
Hi, I'm Amelia. And hi, I'm Eva.
And we are Valora. By a show of hands, how many of you have felt stressed this week? Keep your hands up. Now, how many of you have actually followed through with the routines you said you do to manage that stress? That gap that you all see is the problem. Despite the various demographics in this room, you almost all have certainly heard of the acute mental health crisis our generation is currently experiencing. Students don't just struggle with stress, they struggle with maintaining routines while stressed. We surveyed over 100 students all across grade levels at San Marcos. 78% of students reported feeling stressed several days a week or more. But what stood out to us most was how ineffective current coping mechanisms are. Students rated the effectiveness of their strategies at only 3.1 out of 5, barely above the midpoint. That insight changed the way we thought about wellness. Students don't need another complicated self-care routine. They need support that works quietly in the background, consistently, accessibly, and without effort.
That's why we created Valora. The insight is simple. Calm shouldn't require a routine. Most wellness products today rely on consistency from people who are already overwhelmed. Meditation apps require daily discipline, supplements require timing, and let's be honest, most students can barely remember to bring their water bottle. But stress doesn't wait until it's convenient. So we asked, what if stress support could happen passively and in the background?
Valora is a wearable patch designed to provide continuous calm support throughout the day. Users simply apply the patch once to their inner arm, and it works continuously in the background up to 24 hours. It's designed to find the right level of calm without eliminating stress entirely, but taking the edge off so you can still focus and perform. The experience is intentionally simple. Apply once and forget about it.
What makes Valora different is the technology behind it. The patch uses transdermal delivery, meaning ingredients are gradually absorbed into the skin over time rather than all at once. When you apply the patch to your inner arm, your body heat activates the adhesive layer, and a controlled release matrix slowly diffuses microdoses of our blend, magnesium, L-theanine, ashwagandha extract, and lavender oil across the skin barrier and into circulation. The ingredients themselves are chosen because they work with your body, not against them. Magnesium supports the nervous system, L-theanine promotes focus without sedation, ashwagandha helps regulate cortisol, and lavender soothes it. Together, they don't sedate you or numb you out.
Valora is designed to help students feel more calm, more focused, and more in control throughout the day. Unlike quick fixes that create spikes or crashes, our patch delivers consistent support over 24 hours.
The global wellness market is valued at over 1.8 trillion, but more importantly, the US student wellness market alone represents a massive and underserved opportunity. Our initial market focuses on students, a segment valued at approximately 180 million, and unlike wellness brands trying to target everyone, Valora is intentionally focused on one specific customer with one specific problem.
There are wellness brands, there are supplements, and there are wellness patches. But no one is truly specifically building for students. Valora differentiates itself through student-focused branding, transdermal delivery, consistent all-day release, affordable price points, and natural ingredients. We're not trying to be everything for everyone. We're building directly for an underserved market.
Our goal is to meet students where they already spend their time. We want Valora to feel less like a traditional wellness brand and more like a product naturally integrated into a student's life and culture. Even at this early stage, we focused on validating the idea before investing heavily into the development. But we launched our MVP website to test branding, customer interest, and how users interacted with the concept overall. What this showed us is that students are not only interested in stress support, they're looking for something that fits naturally into their routines, and this validated that the concept connected and feedback pushed us to simplify.
Operationally, Valora is intentionally lean. Rather than investing heavily into factories and warehouses early on, we plan to outsource manufacturing, fulfillment, and compliances to specialized third-party partners. We're developing this alongside UCSB labs and licensed dermatologists. The science is rigorous, and the product is something we can stand behind clinically. This allows us to focus on the areas that matter most: product innovation, customer experience, and brand growth.
Valora operates on a subscription-based model at $36 per monthly pack of 12 patches. With projected costs at $12 per pack, we anticipate a gross margin at 68%. This provides us with healthy margins while maintaining accessibility for our students. Our revenue model is built across multiple streams: single patch, multi-pack, along with monthly and annual subscriptions for long-term retention. Because the product is designed for consistent daily use, Valora naturally supports recurring revenue and strong lifetime value. Our funding allocation is intentionally focused on growth-driving activities. We are seeking an initial investment of $65,000 to support Valora's launch and early-stage growth. The largest portion of funding is dedicated to marketing and customer acquisition, followed by product development and R&D. In wellness, strong distribution and customer trust are everything. Based on our projections, Valora reaches profitability with strong year-one growth potential. With growing brand awareness, repeat purchases, and subscription adoption, we believe Valora has the potential to become both profitable and financially sustainable. We are targeting FY 2029 sales with $12 million.
Even at the early stage, we focused on validating the idea before investing heavily into the development. We launched our MVP website to test branding, customer interest, and how users interacted with the concept over time. What this showed us is that students are not only interested in stress support, they're looking for something that fits naturally into the routines. This validated that the concept connected, and feedback pushed us to simplify. Our team is made up of students who understand the problem firsthand.
I'm the founder and CEO of Valora, where I developed the idea through my firsthand experience managing stress as a dedicated student athlete, giving our company authentic insight into the challenges its customers are facing.
As a CMO, I strengthen Valora's connection to its audience through my leadership as president of our school's Wellness and Connection Club, where I have promoted student mental health and community support.
As the CFO, I bring financial strength along with wellness advocacy for founding our school's yoga club, which helps students explore practical stress health relief techniques. Alongside our founding team, we are supported by advisors with expertise in manufacturing, direct-to-consumer growth, and clinical insight.
Kelly Wheeler is a licensed silver engineer and founder of Bridgedock.
Our teacher, Graham Olson, who has been instrumental.
And Kristen Stewart, an experienced PA highly skilled in internal medicine and dermatology.
Before I end tonight, I want you all to do something with me. Think about the last time that you felt genuinely calm, not asleep, not distracted, calm. I'll give you guys a second. For most of the people in this room, you probably had to think about it for a second. But for the most of the students that we know, they can't think of one at all. We've been given meditation apps, journals, and breathing exercises, and we're more anxious than ever. Stress is the #1 health concern on education campuses in this country, and it's the quiet thing that every student is carrying. Okay, great, cool. We have an amazing advisor, Kelly Wheeler, where she has been incredibly helpful, giving us access to UCSB labs where we can actually make sure that the ingredients we are putting into our products are working and they're effective, and they're also safe for skin use.
How do you measure from the consumer side, like a student using it?
Trial and error is probably a big thing. We have surveyed, our customer interview has been also super helpful, saying that it confirmed our market audience, saying that this was an issue and that people wanted to know this, wanted this solution.
What are some brands that have been inspirational to you, like maybe like Athletic Greens, or has there been other companies that you've looked to model?
Yeah, so our main direct competitor is the Good Patch, and this just like validates our market potential because we are learning things from them, their marketing, but what really differentiates ourselves is our direct to students.
I also think that a lot of, when I was researching this brand and when I wanted to create something that helped regulate my own stress, I didn't even know that the Good Patch or other brands existed, and so I think that kind of goes to show that our target audience is something that has been untouched. And so while, like I mentioned, there's a lot of, you take supplements, you do breathing exercises, all of those things, but the fact that there wasn't something that students could go put on before an AP test, for example, and just feel like they had their lives under control.
Do you think you're convincing more parents to buy this for their students, or you want to believe that students are going to buy more directly?
I mean, of course, our target audience will be parents, but we're really targeting towards students because they're the ones that are feeling the stress, and they're the ones that are taking the test, playing sports, and really needing the focus. So yes, parents are a target market, but it's really dedicated towards students rather than the parents.
Okay, perfect. Oh my goodness. Let's give everybody a hand. That was amazing. We're going to hand this over to the judges, but before I do that, let me say they were going to announce the winners third, second, first, and when you are announced, what I'd like you to do is go ahead and come up on stage and stay up on stage. We'll have all the winners up here. The judges will offer some feedback, and we'll take a group photo. And then I think I remember from this group, we're trying to get everybody on stage. I don't know if we're going to make that, but we'll figure that out later. For right now, let's get to the judges. So judges, whenever you're ready, just go ahead and come on up.
So first off, incredible presentations. It is so good seeing what you guys are doing at high school level. Really, another round of applause for that. Really amazing. we were all super impressed by what we saw and loved a lot of the attention to detail. Even the people that had to get up here as a single presenter, that takes a lot of bravery too. So we love seeing that. We're going to share some specific feedback and kind of talk about some of the things we love that we saw.
Yeah, okay. I will start with one, which is that the startups who did real customer discovery got more points from us in general, because you really want to understand the problem and you really want to understand your customers, and that builds credibility from you. So keep doing that, and if you didn't do it, do more of it.
Exactly. You guys were answering questions that we could tell that you reached out to people. And that's in business, that's really how you succeed. You don't just take an idea, but you verify and vet it. So we saw you do that at different ways, and so that was impressive.
An area that we'd love for all of you to really think about and focus on would be that special sauce, that key differentiator. There were so many lists, and those were great places to start, but what's that one thing that makes you so unique and special compared to everything else out there?
One more comment is, you may have heard this question a few times, but maybe more detail on how you scale to this 10,000 users, because the way you answer that shows us that you put thought into it, and there's many channels, and especially as you're young, at the age you are, you're very savvy on your phones, so that's a potential opportunity to expand on in the future.
Yeah, so thinking about scale is really important, and there's different ways you can get funding to grow your company. So, you know, you need resources and you need money to grow it quickly and beat out competitors. So there's, you know, opportunities beyond bootstrapping it. For example, a lot of you guys talked about friends and family, but you can also look at grant funding. You can also look at Kickstarters. You can also look at venture funding, you know, angel funding, and equity funding. So that can really give you a path to scale that could, you know, put your foothold in the market. Another comment that I had was a little one, which is things like your cap table is privileged information. You don't have to share it with us. You don't need to tell us how it's exactly distributed, because that's something that usually you need an NDA for. So.
Should we go into our... All right, so we're going to start with our third place. We did have a special mention. Should we do that? Okay, so this is a really, really tough... Yeah, please.
Yeah, so it was very, we sat here, Julie kept, are you done yet? We're like, no, 5 more minutes. It was so hard because each of we could tell you guys put so much time and a lot of care went into it. But an honorable mention was Stand Tall. We thought you guys did such a great job. There was a lot of enthusiasm in how you communicated, and that's truly a problem that addresses everyone. Especially at your age, we see a lot of students walking, looking down. So we just said that your idea's in the right place, so very impressive work.
Our third place winner is Valora. Are we sure about them? Do we talk about them a little bit?
Yes, in today's world where people are drinking energy drinks and maybe doing other things that aren't necessarily healthy, it was so great to see a student group come with wellness and good mindset. And we are very impressed with your communication and how you talked about all the different aspects. It wasn't just focused in one area, it was very broad and you covered a lot of points, so nice job.
What I found was really compelling was actually your team. I voted the highest for your team because you guys all brought in something that is very niche to the market that you're tackling. You know, your different backgrounds worked really well, and it also, again, gives you credibility when you're selling the product. So, yeah.
Our second place winner is Peanut Poppers. Keep moving down.
Nice job. Good job.
Dog. Human out of dog. I mean, you can if you want. You want to talk to them?
Yeah, we were initially worried these were the only snacks we were getting here. So thank you for that. Loved a lot of what you were sharing around it. I think that it's a definite market that you can really target in. Really enjoyed what you were sharing. I think biggest point of feedback is really think about your age group inside of that. That Gen X starts just after that 45-year mark, and they're kind of spending some of the largest numbers. And so I think expand who you're looking to target around your product line, but really excited to actually try it out. I'm coming with a product in hand, with branding, all that stuff really means a lot. And then for those of us that are dog owners, that we can try this out right away and have some efficacy with it is really exciting. So great work on that.
We also like that that's a business that you could start, with hustle, with grit, work nights and weekends. It's something that you can do without much barrier to entry. So it's a nice idea that you can just kick off. So good job.
And it's always good to have a demo if you can. So good job on that.
All right, the moment you've been waiting for. Our first place choice is Grab It.
Good job.
Good voice.
Thanks for judging today.
Yeah.
Thank you for judging today.
Yeah, I think maybe we've all used Facebook Marketplace, but no one likes it, right? But there isn't much opportunity to do better. And so many parts of your presentation were great. Great communication, great voice, and really good job overall.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. I would invest in your company. If I was an investor, I would say you guys should build it because there's actual potential opportunity here. And I think, again, with like this niche, you're building this in Santa Barbara, which is such an outdoor area where people do things like rent a kayak and go biking and mountain biking. And your target customers are here, so you can really take this off from the ground up. Yeah.
Really, you guys hit a lot of marks for me when you came in. Love seeing something that's nearly ready to go live, right? You're already up, you have real feedback from real potential customers. Those anecdotal stories go a long way, and love seeing that movement on it. So really excited to see where you guys go.
Thank you.
And let's give a huge hand to our judges, right? And while we have the winners up here, Cynthia, can you snap a photo, or whoever is snapping photos, let's snap photos. Direct us where we need to be. Awesome. Okay, everybody. Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for making the 16th annual an amazing event. We hope to see you next year, either at the collegiate or at the high school, depending on where you're at. So thank you so much, everybody.